What's up, dudes? HW here. How you doing? Man, Fesley sent me this guitar a while back, and I've been meaning to do a video on it. It's part of their Gale series, and it's the FLP 900. Now, you guys know I went pretty crazy for this guitar. Let me grab it real quick. Okay, a while back, I went really wild for this guitar right here. I just thought it presented such a tremendous value. Wilkinson bridge, Wilkinson pickups. Just a good-looking guitar that I felt like really kept up. Had a great two-point trim. Has these Grover tuners, and I just thought this thing was awesome. I'll put the link in the description of both of these guitars, but this FLP 900, this is like kind of more like the LP thing, right? And it's not all Grovery stuff, it's all their stuff, but I gotta tell you, this is one of the most comfortable necks. I'm at the point here where I got to make a video showing all the Fesleys at once, because they're making probably the best guitars for the money out there. You get the gig bag, you get all the case accessories, you get a cable, you get a strap, you get all sorts of stuff is in there, all these hang tags, learn your chords and stuff here. If you're a beginner, I have not found anything else you should buy over this. But even if you're not a beginner, if you're just someone who likes guitars, these are really kind of a tremendous value. I want to show you what these sound like, because I'll tell you from just from the feel of it, this is a very comfortable neck shape to me. Not quite 59 carve, but just a little on the thicker side, more like 59, but a thicker carve. I wouldn't say it's 100% accurate to 59 or anything like that, but I actually like how kind of wide it is. You get this great, scoop right here. And this smooth transition thing. I saw on another video that the guitologist kind of replaced these black rings with white ones, and the knobs. I thought the guitar looked awesome when he did that. Maybe I'll do something like that on mine. But tuners, super smooth, and it sounds really good. Let me take you through the sounds. Here's the neck right here. You kind of heard it at the beginning. Middle position, both pickups on. Little tube screamer action. Great little growl. I love an LP when it's bright enough that it can kind of get by with the cleans on its own. Here's the bridge. Sounds like this. Okay, I'll tell you what I really like about this. And Fesley sent me the guitar, but they're not compensating me in any way. This is my truthful opinion. I would rank this up there with the Strat. This and the Strat, whichever one you like. The Telly to me is not quite as amazing, maybe because I just don't prefer the Tellys as much. But this is a really, really awesome guitar. Let's hear it with a little bit of like crunch put on it. Let me pull up like a crunch sound. I've really been into this crunch sound right here. Let's see how it handles it. I mean, that's great, man. This thing holds tuned pretty well. It just is going out just slightly. I did just kind of tune it up and take it out. It's been sitting in its gig bag for at least 2 weeks since I tuned it. And I just tuned it one time right here. Just that G going a little bit flat. But that's pretty typical with an LP style guitar. And if you don't know, it's because actually the break angle needs to be increased. But that's just how they built these Gibsons, you know? But so, anyway, not these Gibsons. That really works, man. You know what I mean? I mean, that sounds really good. That sounds really good, actually. You know, it's kind of... I'm laughing because it's a really silly world, you know, when, you know, I've paid a lot more money for guitars than this one is. Right now, you get this on Amazon for $269, and it says there's about 20 left at $269. So it's just fun. You can tell these pickups are balanced really well. You don't usually find this in guitars in this price range. Where the neck is nice and like kind of springy and lovely sounding. Like there's like enough brightness there. I'm actually surprised by it. I saw that the Guitologist had really like rough frets. I would say mine could use a little smoothing, but not to the point that I would even think a beginner would notice or anything like that. So I think I maybe got a little better one out of the box than him. That kind of happens, but he did a great review on it. Check his out. if you haven't seen it. Back to this crunch sound. I'm just really impressed here. If I walked across this thing in a store, I'd be like, that's easily one of the best 269 guitars I've ever played. The neck is, the neck is ultra comfortable. I think that's what kind of is interesting to me about it. If I put my hands on this and you said this was a $600 guitar, like all day long, I would believe you. And that's really how I felt about this one. That's really how I felt about this guitar right here. It just seems like everything Fesley kind of makes really has like a lot of the features that you find on higher end stuff, but for cheaper, Now this one, it doesn't have Grovers or any name brand pickups. It's their stuff. Inside it's going to be like the dime, size pots and stuff. The switch works. You know what I mean? That's all you're asking for, really, at this level. But it's interesting to me just how they can make a guitar like this for kind of so little money. And, maybe you want to replace the knobs. Maybe you want to replace this and make it look like, a little more traditional. Maybe you're, looking at something like this and you say, well, wow, they got the speed heel on there also. But I want to change out that pearloid pick guard, or I want to make these bright white, or whatever you want to do. The cost of these leaves you with so much to do it. If you didn't see, I actually kind of when they sent me this one, they sent me this to do a video. I actually got so suspicious because I couldn't believe how good it was that I went and bought 2 Fesleys on my own from Amazon. And I still have them in the next room. And my thinking is I think I'm going to give them away to like a couple kids at my son's. My son's in this band, little practice thing. They put a band together. He plays drums. So I might just give it to 2 of the guitar players there because I think they're just phenomenal instruments. Someone asked me recently at my church, what guitar should I get for my daughter? She wants to learn to play. And I sent them the link to this guitar right here, this Fesley right here, because I think it's one of the best buys. If you're more of a Les Paul guy or gal, this is how I would go. For any guitar out there, really, I would go this way. If you're a little more, into the Les Paul thing. If you're just a guy who's like, I want a Les Paul for around the house, or you want something to mod, you could go out and get like a pair of Seymour Duncans, or you could get like a set of Lambertrons. If you're a worship guy, like you might really dig not Lambertrons, the Cremas, or something like that, like a Crema and a grinder, from Lambertone would be really cool in these guitars if you want to like add that sort of thing to your arsenal. I'm sure you could fit, one of those Guitar Fetish trims on here that goes right on here. I have that on another guitar. Just fits right on the posts of a different import guitar I have. So, I mean, you could mod the heck out of this thing. And starting at $269 with the case, you could just do so much. But on its own, it really doesn't need it. I mean, I'm having no problem making this thing sound awesome. I mean, telling you guys, I'm comparing this thing to like a lot guitars that are 10 times this price, and I'm saying it compares very favorably. Am I saying it's better than a $2,000 guitar? No, but I'm saying if you put a different name on this and said it was $500 or $600, 100% I would believe you, 100%. So, to me, you know, a bargain at twice the price is kind of like quite literal. I'm looking at the flame. It's probably a photo flame finish on here. But you know, it's all real wood. You can see the joint here, but it's smooth. They got kind of a thick lacquer on it, which you would expect for a guitar in this price range. You got a transition right here, but it all looks solid. It all looks pretty amazing. The carve looks pretty normal. And hey, it's got the contours, so it's pretty comfortable to play if this is your only guitar. It's not too thick. It's not too heavy. I dig it. Maybe there's a couple finish flaws, you know, like, and what I mean is, I'm assuming there's like a photo flame. There's just like a cut, like I see a little like black mark underneath there, but it's not really black. It's more like gray, almost like a little piece of dust got under the finish, you know, before it was finished or something. But I mean, that's so light. Yeah, you can see that there is a separate, you can see here there is a separate top piece on this carve. So it is a top, some other, you know, it is a top properly placed on the top. So I'm just saying, it's not just a look-alike. It actually is constructed. It's not quite exactly constructed like a Les Paul exactly, because we have this transition here and it's a two-body this way with the seam a little more over here. And then I see a third piece of wood making up the insert that goes on the neck and slid in there. So the geometry is a little bit different when you're making a neck carve like this, but there is a piece of wood on top, a body, and then it looks like to make this neck carve, they've put a piece of wood in the middle rather than having a big heel that actually secures to the neck and then secures to the body like a transition piece. Probably so that they can just make the neck with a straight cut and then make this one transition piece so there's less to sand. I would imagine. I don't really quite know. And then this is obviously another piece up here. It's great. I feel like I sound like a broken record telling you that Fesley is really awesome. I think my Strat video was one of the really first ones, kind of in the digital, you know, modeling space and stuff. And I've seen a bunch of other creators pop up with these, and a bunch of other people just pop up with them, which is great. I think Fesley really deserves all the clout here, because it's honestly a bit confusing how they're able to deliver such a good value at this price. I guess the biggest endorsement I could give it is if my son came to me tomorrow and said, "Dad, I want to learn how to play the guitar." I mean, I'd probably just hand him a guitar that I own. But at this point, but if I was going to shop for a guitar, I would absolutely I would go on Amazon and I'd buy this. I wouldn't go to a local shop. I'd buy one of these. I don't know. It just... There's not even any dead spots up here, which is something you usually find on like sub $300 guitars. You find... And I've done no setup to this thing. It's right out of the box. So, Fesley, good on you guys. I'm going to put all of these guitars together in like one video. I'm going to do like a jam with all the Fesleys. So we can kind of hear it. There's no Fesley bass, or I'd put a Fesley bass in there, but I'll use like a Mustang kind of Squire bass. All right, HW, out.